Hey, welcome to Wednesday in the Word. It's been a lot going on in our world, as everybody knows, and one of the worst things here, obviously, in the last week has been the devastating flooding down in Texas and now in Louisiana. And as I was thinking about that and praying for those folks down there, it made me think of this passage of Scripture in Matthew chapter 7. Just wanted to share it with you for just a moment. In Matthew chapter 7, beginning in verse 24, it says, Therefore, everyone who hears these words of mine and acts upon them may be compared to a wise man who built his house upon the rock. And the rain descended, and the floods came, and the winds blew, and it burst against that house. And yet it did not fall, for it had been founded upon the rock. And everyone who hears these words of mine and does not act upon them will be like a foolish man who built his house upon the sand. And the rain descended, and the floods came, and the winds blew, and burst against that house, and it fell, and great was its fall. The context here in Matthew chapter 7 is just a warning by Jesus, not necessarily about judgment, but just about the importance of building our house, building our lives upon the foundation of a relationship with Him. And like I said, this flooding in Texas is just an awful thing, and many people have lost their homes, lost everything they have. Some people have lost their lives. There have been a number of deaths as a result of the flooding as well. And it just reminds us that in this life we will have tribulation. Jesus said that, didn't He? But in the midst of it, whether it's cataclysmic, as this flooding and hurricane has been down in Texas and Louisiana, or whether it's just minor things that go on in our lives, it can be tribulation, it can be trouble, it can be difficulties, it can be finances, it can be family, it can be marital, it can be sickness. There's lots of different things that can happen in our lives. It's just the way it is. It's a sin-cursed world, right? Jesus says to us, in the midst of all that, make sure you're building your life on the right foundation. Because if you build your life on a foundation other than a relationship with the living God, then when those storms come, when those winds blow, when that rain floods, your house, your life will come crumbling down. It won't be able to stand against the adversity that comes into it. But if we're followers of Jesus Christ and we truly build our life on Him, upon a relationship with Him, upon knowing Him and knowing what He wants for us, and how we learn to walk with Him, that foundation is a foundation that can stand against the winds, against the floods, against the storms of life that come our way. I want to encourage you today to make sure that you're building your foundation the right way, that you're building on a relationship with God. If you're not even sure what that is, start by just praying to Him and say, God, I want to build my life on You. I'm not sure what all I'm supposed to do or how will I do that, but I want to build my life on You. And then just start exploring His Word. Be faithful in attendance to church and serving, and just those types of things that are disciplines that are built into the life of a believer. And as you're building those into your life, you're also building that foundation. Also want to encourage you to pray for those folks down there in Texas who have been so hard hit. These are great opportunities. As terrible as they are opportunities for the love of Jesus Christ to be demonstrated in very tangible ways. And already Baptist men are down there on the scene. Samaritan's Purse is already down there on the scene. Local churches are taking in people and providing resources. And that's what the church should be doing. And so it's an opportunity for people to see the love of God in action. But we should be praying for them and doing what we can as well. I hope you're going to be able to be with us this Sunday. I know it's Labor Day weekend, so maybe some folks will be gone, but we're going to have a great time worshiping the Lord, serving Him, and just seeing what all God has for our lives. We're going to be looking at 1 John, finishing up chapter 1, and just what is a really, really important message for our lives in the I Am series. I hope you guys have a great rest of the week and living for Jesus and building that foundation. God bless you guys.